Police arrived and they quickly realized that this was far worse than anyone could have imagined. Because not only was there this one suitcase that he had found with a human head inside of it, but there were actually two suitcases. Investigators had searched the field and they discovered this other suitcase about 25 feet away. It was also, like the original one, partially buried in a shallow hole. And inside both of these suitcases were the bodies of two young girls. Which, let that just sink in for a second. You're out on a walk with your dog, not thinking anything crazy. You see the suitcase, you're like, oh, what's in it? You find a freaking human head. You call the police. Then they find another suitcase and find the bodies of these girls. It's absolutely devastating. Now, first, the investigators had no idea who these girls were because the bodies were described as being pretty decomposed, which of course made the identification very difficult. But the medical examiner estimated that their ages were between 8 and 13 and 10 and 14. Then, after conducting forensic testing, including DNA testing, the authorities were able to identify these girls pretty quickly. The girls were identified as 10-year-old Amore Wilson and 8-year-old Mila Chapman, two half-sisters from Cleveland. But here's where this case takes an even darker turn, because the investigators quickly developed a suspect in their investigation. And that suspect turned out to be the girls' own mother. 2 days after finding the girls' bodies, the police arrested 28-year-old Aaliyah Henderson. Now, according to the investigators, Aaliyah was taken into custody after detectives had canvassed the neighborhood, spoke with witnesses, and reviewed surveillance footage from the area where those suitcases were discovered. Police also had executed a search warrant at Aaliyah's home, and during that search, very unnervingly, the officers located a third child inside the home, who fortunately, though, appeared to be physically okay. That child has since been taken into custody of the state. Aaliyah appeared in court on March 6th, where a judge set her bond at $2 million, $1 million for each charge of aggravated murder. Now, as of right now, at the time of this recording, the investigators still have not publicly released the exact cause of death, which means we don't know how these two young girls died. It isn't even clear if that detail has been determined by the medical examiner yet, based on the level of decomposition. Police also have not said exactly how long the bodies had been in that field in those suitcases, but they did indicate that they had been there for, quote, some time. Now, beyond just the arrest and the devastating crime against these two girls, we're also starting to hear heartbreaking details about the girls themselves and their home life and their family. Mila's father, Deshaun, told reporters that he had actually been trying to find his daughter and get custody of her for years. He said that he last saw Mila in 2020 when she was only 3 years old. Ever since then, he's been calling